Well, into the great unknown we go, and goodbye bullshit. Hello everybody, my name is PirateMummy, and welcome to the first of, good God, so many videos of the Dark Souls trilogy. We begin at the very beginning of the Dark Souls journey. And no, that's not Demon Souls, because that was Demon Souls. At least in my opinion it was anyway. We're beginning at Dark Souls. Dark Souls Remastered, in fact. So the thing about Dark Souls is, earlier this year, I decided to finally give it a fair shake. Because I was one of those people, and there are many of you, and there's no shame in it, who picked up Dark Souls and thought, I can't do this. And it's because I didn't take time to understand the game. And it's because I'd grown lazy over the decades of just getting used to tutorials being thrown in, this and that. And so I finally just decided, you know what? First of all, didn't even just realize I could do the whole page scrolling. Hope everybody's enjoying that. But today, we're starting something new for me. We're doing something that I've wanted to do for a long time now, which is actually do a run and really pay attention to the lore, should we get the chance to stop and smell the roses. So I am very much all about that. The Dragon Invisible. Many of you know that Bubba and I's philosophy is, you know, put it on what you want. Honestly, you know, do what you want. I think that one will be okay. But yeah, I've beaten this game once. I have not. I can't say that I have completed it because I didn't. I didn't complete it at all. I missed out on the whole return to the asylum thing. I missed out on some other stuff. I didn't actually go through the painted world of Aramaeus? I don't remember what it is. But what I do remember, very much so, is that, yeah, I got to the end and I beat Gwyn, and then I found out there was a whole lot of other stuff. Oh, and the biggest part is, I've never done the DLC, which is one of the reasons why this whole trilogy thing was huge for me, because it was like, oh yeah, the DLC Artorias and what have you and what not. And as I understand it, it's important to kind of do it before you get to certain points of the game, because it adds some weight to some other stuff. Little nods here and there, which was nice. Which means that not only did they put DLC in here, but they tweaked the main game around it, which is nice. So for me anyway, I think lately I've been starting to play Soulsborne games as the Deprived. And not because I'm a try-hard, not because of anything like that. It's because I decided that there's just certain things that I want to do, and I'd rather start from level 1 and be able to do things that I want to do. So we're gonna get through the character creation and we'll skip through this a little bit.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity, heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, first of the dead. The Witch of Isaac and the Daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenge the dragons. Gwyn's mighty lords heed hard their spells. The witches weaved great firestone. Leto unleashed the miasma of death and disease. And see the scales betrayed his own, and the dragons failed. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side. Yes, indeed. The dark side brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Alrighty, so I went a little bit silent there because I really wanted to appreciate the cutscene with all the updated graphics and such. So I'm doing this, by the way, because oh, by the way, this is as close as I could get to making me. That's about the length that my hair's grown to right now. It's not quite the purple that I wanted it to be because it's blending with stuff, but yeah, this is PirateMummy. I'm doing this because of Mickey. Doing it because of Mickey, because she said that she wanted to see Dark Souls stuff and the Dark Souls series. And I said, oh Mickey, what have you done? So some of you know, I've been doing the Bloodborne thing with PJ, because that's like the one thing out of all these that actually interests him. So we've been doing that when we get the chance. You might also know that, you know, we haven't had as many opportunities to record lately, and I lost pretty much a good chunk of our footage. So we've been kind of making up for lost time there. So this is going to be kind of like a personal thing. One, because like the whole reason I picked these games up in the first place again is because I decided that I wanted the lore, and my friend Tyler was going to take me through the games just to kind of go on like a Dark Souls tour. I was going to play with, of course, but you know, I was in it more for the lore and stuff. He and another friend of mine are in it more for the gameplay, which I am now too. I mean, it didn't take long for me to get hooked, I will say that. But yeah, this is going to be a lot more for the lore thing, so I'm hoping to get through that the best way I can. Not that I'm going to punish myself if I don't get through every single thing that I want to see. But for example, I mean, right off the bat, what do we have? We got toggle display, black separation crystal. This black crystal, long a symbol of farewell, is granted to banished undead. Crystal sends phantoms back to their homes or sends you back to yours. Beware of fickle use of this item if you intend to nurture relations. How much that has to do with the overall thing, I don't know. The dark sign, however, you'll hear they actually mentioned. The dark sign signifies an accursed undead. Those branded with it are reborn after death, but will one day lose their mind and go hollow. Death triggers the dark sign, which returns its bearer to the last bonfire rested at, but at the cost of all humanity and souls. Meaning that these things that I've been picking away at so far, they're what are called hollows. That's what people eventually turn into. It's kind of like an organization member turning into a nobody, so to say. I don't think that's too much of a spoiler to the holy crap, that thing looks awesome. Now, for those of you who might be getting mad at me skipping past that, don't be. That's not where this fight happens. I'm pretty sure it could be. I think when I was scrolling through the videos, I did see somebody do that. Not that I think they're the first or only one, but I do recall that being a thing. That said, now, earlier this year, I really took a big interest. As I mentioned earlier, 3 is the only one I haven't... I didn't actually mention that. I played through most of this. I did mention that stuff. Scholar of the First Sin, I did also do, because that's one I've owned for quite some time. Kind of weird that I couldn't do the... There we go. That's what I wanted. Did it actually do it? No? Okay. Am I supposed to have a weapon by now? I can't help it... I just can't help but think like I missed a weapon or something. I'm just getting that feeling, you know? Like, I know I started as a whatever, but I would have thought that I would have started with a club. Did I just not switch to it? Yup, sure enough. Which brings me to my next point. In a lot of games, I tend to make things really hard for myself because I don't pay attention. This time, I know a little bit about what I'm doing. I'm not going to say I know a lot about what I'm doing. Holy crap, I have never seen a backstab with a club. Right off the bat, I'm glad I did this. Okay, to be fair, I never actually did start as this type of class before. Or by this type of class, I mean, I didn't start with a club, so on and so forth. Not that, again, I'm going for the... Okay, so this is what I was talking about. There's a part of the asylum you can actually come back to, and it involves, I think, that big-ass crow. And I had a feeling it was there for some reason. I didn't think it was just there for show. Almost nothing in this game is just for show. Bad cannonball, for example. Just so we're all on the same page. Not a huge fan of this asshole, by the way. Alright, so with that in mind, I was going to actually Look at these things. So a simple wooden club. The simple blade, the strike weapon, is effective against most foes, is easily handled, it can break the guard of a shield. However, a single miss makes one open, so timing and proximities are crucial. So again, not too much to look at as far as lore here just yet. We don't have pretty much anything yet. We have like master keys and stuff like that, but I don't think we're actually into the lore of stuff yet.
Oh, you. You're no harm. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon. Then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Does anyone ever select no? Is there a point?
But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There's an old saying in my family.
He who smelt it dealt it. Oh yeah, if anybody came here to find like top-notch like humor, you're in the wrong place. And I can die with hope in my heart.
Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask.
I thought it was gonna be a sword. Old man gave Link a sword.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
What would happen if I were to attack you?
Now I must go and thank you.
Alright, he's done. So now we have an Estus flask. Browse and use items. Now we do have to add this. Oh yes, here we go. Okay. The undead treasure these dull green flasks. Are they green? Doesn't really look green. Filled with Estus, a bonfire fills HP. The Estus flasks are linked to the Fire Keepers. The Dark Tales also make reference. An emerald flask from the Keeper's soul. She lives to protect the flame and dies to protect it further. I guess that's one thing I never actually really made the correlation of before, is that every Fire Keeper that I ran into was a female. Oh, and by the way, if people are looking for a spoiler-free walkthrough or anything like that, this isn't it. This is for someone who's actually played through this game once, but again, didn't complete it. There were still some things I did not complete. Oh, I missed. But who is now actually really looking forward to doing this thing. Now, I have to wonder. Key to the iron bars on the east side of the second floor. The Undead Asylum is a giant undead prison, segmented by countless iron bars. Even if an undead were to escape from a cell, passage to the outside world would not be gained easily. So this is an undead prison, and what I recall about this, and I'm really trying not to reference videos I have seen. I'll just come right off the bat and say it. I have looked up some videos. Pardon the pronunciation, my friend. Vatividia, as well as a few other people, have come out with just some amazing lore videos on this. And I watched them, but not all of them. I think I was going to, and then I just kind of got caught up in life. Like things happen to do and be. Now with that in mind, I'm kind of wondering, because Dark Souls Remastered has been released for, what, like a month or two now? So I picked up the trilogy because I was waiting to do so for Mickey's sake, because I wanted to just go ahead and get my money's worth. And again, I haven't done the DLC of this one. I've pretty much done all of Scholar of the First Sin, with the exception of a couple bosses, one of which I probably should give a shot. The other one, like, I don't understand the point in doing. For those of you wondering who I'm talking about, I'm talking, of course, about the Ancient Dragon. By the way, I think Bloodborne has spoiled me in its take on combat. Because Bloodborne is a lot easier to zip around and do this and that and the other. On the other hand, look at how strong this club is. Everybody says that magic casters are the easy mode run, but I would defy them, and I would tell them, hey, look, a club. Okay, so you'll also notice that oh my god, I'm not the best with the dodge. My dodge roll game is not strong. Not in this. I have done some fair work in Bloodborne, I will say that. Alright, and I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I might try and play this off to people who might not be as familiar with this stuff. Steph, I know you might be watching this stuff as well, and goodness gracious knows if there's one thing that I imagine Tyler talks to you about lore-wise in games that you haven't played yourself, it's this. So I don't think by any means... Hey look, it's still the same button. Oh, by the way, I played this on 360, so totally different controller, totally different thing for me. I'm still not totally, like, used to it. That said... New item. Key to the inner door of the Undead Asylum main hall, big key belonging to a chosen undead pilgrim, but this chosen undead knows not what this pilgrimage has in store. Belonging to a chosen undead pilgrim. So, I might not be the undead pilgrim they're talking about. It might be the other dude. And I have to say, I don't know this, because I feel like I googled this, and I think... Like, my going thought was, not theory, because this isn't even developed. It was just a going thought that I had. That perhaps... What the hell? There was a nest in 2 with things asking for smooth and silky. I don't think this correlates with that at all, but this might have to do with the bird and the rest of the part.